Here to shed more light on the Senate shakeup, we have former Senate Deputy Majority Leader JV Ejercito. Good evening, Senator.
Hi, good evening, Gretchen, Gina, and gabi po sa inyo. Good evening.
Good evening.
Senator, it's been a day since this happened, and up until now, we are also dumbfounded about what caused this leadership shakeup in the Senate. Can you enlighten us? Totoo ba that it was just 2 to 3 days when this was conceptualized? At bakit?
Just like the leadership, no, we are all until now puzzled, dumbfounded, because I don't think the leadership did anything wrong, first of all, and I think we've been very supportive of the administration's priority measures. We've been supportive of the administration's programs, and if you would not to, I don't know, not to feather ourselves, no, but I think most of the priority measures that were mentioned, the accomplishments, no, were authored and sponsored by our block, no, the shipmates block, no. I don't think performance, in terms of performance, if you look at performance, I think our leadership, our block, was able to deliver for the administration. I would think that this coup started in January when during the heat of the People's Initiative, when the House of Representatives leadership and the Senate were at odds, because the House leadership was really persistent and bent on really pushing for the People's Initiative, which the Senate found that it was questionable. So from that time there was already rumors of a coup. That was January, and it dragged on. It died down, but it continued on. And I would think that the last nail to the coffin is the PIDEA hearings under Committee on Public Order, chaired by Senator Bato de la Rosa. And Sean, Gretchen, Regina, in the Senate, we are 24 republics, as they say. It is not our tradition to control or to stop any hearings. No, that's a known fact in the character of the Senate. So we are also sad, I have to admit to you, because I think the leadership didn't do anything wrong, and the leadership stood by and fought for the institution. So probably it also one of the reasons that it caused the demise of the leadership of Senate President Migz Zubiri.
They keep denying it, though. All the other half of the Senate keeps saying it has nothing to do with the PIDEA hearings. What do you know, Senator? I mean, just last time we were talking to Senator Jinggoy about it, and he said no.
Well, I would say I'm a witness. I'm being one of the deputy majority leader. I'm part of the leadership. I am in the Senate. I'm the first in and the last out. Not being the deputy majority leader, I'm always on the floor. I would say that most senators are satisfied with the handling and the leadership of Senate President Migz Zubiri. Even our minority leader, Coco Pimentel, speak out that he said that he was satisfied, and even praised Senator Zubiri for being fair. There was a very good relationship, constructive criticism by the minority towards the leadership. No, so I know for a fact that most senators are very much satisfied, because Senator Zubiri is very fair, and he stands by the principles, and he is very particular in making sure that the Senate remains the last bastion of democracy by allowing all its members, no, to freely chair their committee without anybody interfering.
Okay, Senator, you're absolutely right. How you narrated how things have happened this year from January, the coup rumors, we were covering that as well in March.
There have been a few, no?
There have been a few since, I think, 2023, late 2023. This year, it really heated up. And in fact, that ended with a manifesto of support for former Senate President Zubiri in March. And then we thought that was the end of it. However, we also did speak with Senator Amy Marcos, also back in March, where she said something curious. She said the pressure versus Senate President Zubiri was coming from the outside. Does that statement make sense to you? Let's listen to her, except to Senator Amy Marcos. I think we have a soundbite.
There's a lot of pressure to change Migz Zubiri. But it's all coming from outside the Senate, not within the Senate. So strange.
Maraming ugong. Pero lahat ng ugong galing sa Kongreso, hindi sa Senador. Nakakatawa nga eh. Palitan na lang kaya nila yung speaker, ba't nila papakialaman yung SP?
What do you
think if it's only the Senate we are talking about, all senators or most of the senators are very much satisfied with the leadership of Senate President Migz Zubiri. I agree with her that it is indeed in external forces, powers that be probably, or the other house, I don't know, maybe a collusion, but definitely for senators, some senators to turn their backs and to change their minds, all of a sudden, definitely there's extreme so the House of Representatives leadership assigned talking heads who were relentless in attacking the Senate, no? Ever since the heat of the conflict during the PI in the Senate as an institution. So I would agree with Senator Marcos, definitely, that there are outside forces that were really responsible in this leadership change.
Do you think the pressure is related to charter change? I mean, for one, we spoke with Senator Jingo Estrada yesterday, and we asked if there was enough time to pass RBH 6 before the State of the Nation address. Sabi niya wala na, siguro after na ng SONA. Kasi we're also looking at the timing of this.
And also he said that most senators were anti-Chacha daw.
It started with the PI because the House leadership at the time were really persistent and determined to go through with the People's Initiative. And from what they perceived, that with the current leadership or composition of the Senate, that it has no chance of making it or passing in the Senate. That's why they really they were bent on pushing PI. So now I would think that the last hot issue was the PIDEA hearings under the Committee on Public Order. That's why we think that it's probably because of that it really cost the presidency of Senator Zubiri, because apparently he failed to stop these hearings. But as I mentioned earlier, Gretchen, Regina, Sean, the Senate, it's 24 republics. We do not do that. We do not dictate upon our members. It's up to them. We give them the liberty on how they would handle their respective committees.
How did this all unfold for you? For instance, Senator Jinggoy told us that he got the call from Senator Chiz soliciting his support. How did you first find out? Did you get a call too?
I did not get a call from whoever, probably because I belong to the leadership. I'm the deputy majority leader, probably the fourth in rank in the Senate leadership. So they probably those who plotted this change in leadership didn't anymore consider me, because they would know that I will never leave Senator Zubiri, and I would, even if they called me, honestly, I would never leave him, because from our point of view, I think the Senate leadership was doing quite well, performed quite well. All that is asked of us, we were able to pass the priority measures, and there's no scandal. There's no issue of corruption, whatever you need, you read or whatever comes out now in the social media or yung mga videos that are coming out are products of propaganda, black propaganda against the leadership.
So you did.
And even the employees and staff are very satisfied with the leadership.
So you didn't get a call from Senator Cheese. Did you find out on Monday morning, almost the same time as us then?
Yes, we heard about this already during the weekend, and we were counting, and we were still confident, no, that we will have about 13 votes, no, the number needed. So probably they worked on the others during the weekend and had pressure. And I would not name anymore a senator who confided that they received a call, no, from a very powerful person that they cannot refuse. So let's just leave it at that. Who it is, who it was, I have no idea also. But the only thing that he said that is from somebody, it's very difficult to say no to.
Just to clarify something you said, Senator JV, earlier when the coup rumors first started coming out in the news, I believe one of the early reasons that people were giving was that yun nga, hindi nga napapasa yung mga priority or pet bills ng administration fast enough in the upper house. So you're saying that that has been resolved and you don't think that is the reason anymore, and that if it's not performance, then surely it's personal?
Sean, Gretchen, and Regina, I would just like to address that issue, no? In the Senate, we really scrutinize, we really study, and admittedly, we are quite slower in passing measures. And, I've been in both houses. I've been in the House, a member of the House of Representatives, and the House being parochial, the congressmen are only concerned of what they can bring to their districts, no? But in the Senate, being national in nature, we definitely are more sensitive and looking at the national interest. So we really are slower because we really scrutinize each bill. Talagang dadaan sa butas na karayam, so to speak, even our minority. No, there's only two of them, but each bill is very difficult to pass because they really scrutinize and it takes very long. No, yung interpellations and others takes a long time. But I would say that the most of the priority measures asked by the administration, we were able to pass. So yung nakakasama na loob sa amin because all that was asked of us, although slower, we were able to deliver. And those who delivered, as I mentioned several times earlier, is our block, no, the seatmates block, no, part of the leadership. So whatever other factors, nagkapersonalan na siguro ito, and I would think the external factors are part of it. As I mentioned earlier, members of the House they were relentless in discrediting, in attacking the Senate leadership, no, since January until now. It was continuous.
The person, the person who called the other senators that they couldn't refuse because he or she was very powerful. You can't name names, I understand that, but can you just confirm, was it someone from the Senate or external then?
External.
Okay, thank you.
I have no idea who, but this person just said that somebody that they just cannot say no to.
Do you think that was the reason why Senator Bato de la Rosa voted against Senate President Migz Zubiri, and he explained that by saying that he just went with majority, and he said, "I have failed to win the war for you," referring to not being able to keep PDP laban supporting the former Senate President. I mean, what can you say about that? Yung power na yun, yung ba yung dahilan? Kaya, kumbaga, parang bumaliktad. What has surprised you with all of these alignments or realignments?
Gretchen, as I mentioned earlier, most of the senators are very much satisfied with the leadership. The staff, employees, everybody is very satisfied because, as I mentioned, Sen. Migz has been very fair as Senate President. And I would only surmise that external factors will be the only reason why a lot of our core members, no, part of the majority, would change their minds, no, in supporting another person for as Senate President. So definitely external factors were present, no, in this whole change of leadership in the Senate.
You know, we also haven't asked you, and I apologize on our behalf. How are you feeling, right? And second to that, you know, how would you characterize the morale of the Senate right now? I mean, I know you're about to go on break, but this isn't exactly starting off on the right foot, is it? This new leadership.
Yeah. Just to be honest with you, Regina, of course, I feel down. I feel sad because we really sacrifice a lot, no, the leadership, especially during budget season, and even during the plenary. As I mentioned, I'm one of the first in and last out. We are always on the floor. Our group, before pa, no, from the time from Drilon's Senate presidency, Coco Pimentel, Senator Soto, the seatmates block were all the ones who are always on the floor. Now that we have control of the leadership in this Congress, we are still the ones on the floor, and even earlier. So, in terms of work, in terms of responsibilities, I think that the leadership really performed quite and lived up to the expectations. Nakakalungkot na siguro ang kasalanan po namin talaga. We stood for the institution. We fought for the independence of the institution. Again, the Senate is the last bastion of democracy, and we just have to fight for it, no? The survival of the Senate as an institution and being the last bastion of democracy. And I guess that played a big part in the change of leadership as well.
Senator, do you have any word over committees? Your committee chairing which one? Is there anything that has been communicated to you?
Well, I resigned as Deputy Majority Leader, as I resigned earlier also as Chairman of Committee on Local Government and Committee on Urban Planning and Housing, to give the new leadership a free hand in reorganizing. No, I wish them all the well. I wish them well. No, Senate President Ciscodero, and to be fair to the new leadership, again, we all resign so that they will have a free hand in choosing the respective committees and the positions of the Senate leadership.
So wala pang nababanggit sa inyo.
Tomorrow, there's supposed to be a caucus on how the committees will be distributed, but we haven't gotten an invitation because right now we are now not part of the majority. The seven of us, no, the ones who remained with Senate President Migz Zubiri and Senator Zubiri, we decided to be independent, no, an independent block right now. We are still seven, and that's still a big number. That's about almost 1/3 of the Senate. So the minority is about 2 members. So we're still thinking whether we will join the minority or we will remain as independent. So that has to be resolved and decided upon. Probably we'll think about it over the break. We have a 2-month break almost, so we will think about it and sort things out.
Okay. All right, thank you so much for joining us tonight. We have with us online Senator JV Ejercito.